Sing.
We are live. We are live, coming to you from Baltimore/Timonium. Hopefully we're on the right. Here we are. Yes, we are. Good afternoon, everyone. I see you guys out there. And we have the man of the hour all the way from Manchester, United Kingdom. What's up, Dave?
What's up, Dave?
There we go. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Hear you.
Absolutely, loud and amazingly clear.
Awesome. Wishing you a wonderful evening on this fine Wednesday, November 4th. I can't believe we're already in November already. It's quite frightening.
Special day for me, this. It's my daughter Ellie's birthday today.
Shout
happy
out.
birthday.
Ellie,
Shout out to Ellie.
She might even be on the call tonight. Actually, let me just check. Let me see if she's here.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. You can let me know if she comes.
I will give you a heads up. I'll give you a thumbs up. How's that?
Sounds
How
good.
old's your daughter today, Dave?
She is. It's a good job I've got no hair because she's 13 today. We officially have 3 teenagers in the family today. So yeah, scary times.
My brother, I love you. You're always in my prayers. You and your family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just wait until they get older. Just wait.
Don't. Carry on.
You know what I'm saying.
Anyway,
I still remember when I was 13, Dave. I don't know about you.
I remember when I was 13.
It seems like yesterday, guys.
I remember. So I want to wish everyone a wonderful good afternoon and good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. And I want to give a special thanks to all those individuals who continue to share and spread the word about Dave Steele, the blind poet, and tea and poetry. And I want to just, say thank you for joining us week after week and helping to continue to spread the word. If you haven't already shared with your friends or family or neighbor, whoever it might be, please do so. This community is growing leaps and bounds, and we want to be able to continue to provide for you guys. So again, please request that you continue to spread the word. We are just a little after 4 o'clock here on the East Coast out of Timonium, Maryland, our headquarters. We're in our studio and the lights are shining quite bright, but we're here. We're happy to be here. And we've been waiting for this. This is our weekly occurrence. And for us, it's, we live for this. It's Dave, I know you're not here physically, but you're always with us here. But we call out, we like an hour to showtime. We have these like countdowns here in house, and to make
live in 5.
That's right. And with the team got us set up here, I want to give a special shout out to Sedona Dave for setting up the studio today.
Absolutely, Sedona Dave.
Always incredible. And I also want to let's see. Let me just go through a couple things. I see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of new faces, so welcome. And let's go through some of those housekeeping things first. So we will continuously monitor the chat, the Q&A, and if you raise your hand, like Travis has already raised his hand. How are you, Travis? My number one raiser, Travis. Travis, I love it. You come in from the start with your hand raised. I love the energy. So if you want to get our attention, you can raise your hand. And when you raise your hand, what that means is that you want to come say hello to Mr. B. Fox, Dave Steele, and myself. And when you do come in and we admit you to a panelist, we encourage you to keep your video on. However, if you are feeling a little bit shy, don't worry, we understand. So you can just keep your audio on. Whatever you feel comfortable with, that is the way we will roll. You can always send us a message through the Q&A, through the chat, whatever it is, we are monitoring, and we will do our best to bring you in at the next available moment. So, yeah. So Dave, so tomorrow, is it tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah, tonight.
Okay. So tonight, the United Kingdom is going into a new lockdown for, I believe it's for 30 days. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, lockdown 2, the revenge. We are, yeah, we're going to lockdown till the 2nd of December. With potential it to be extended depending on the numbers. We've been talking over the last few weeks how the numbers have been kind of rising here. So yeah, kind of going into a lockdown, not as severe as the last time in the fact that the schools are still staying open. Schools and universities still
That's
open.
good. That's important.
Essential shops, so supermarkets, places like that, still open. But everywhere else, bars, restaurants, all the other kind of businesses, all shut. People advised to stay at home, and we're allowed to go out for exercise. But yeah, lockdown 2 starting from tonight. Just to see if we can kind of get the numbers down before we head into the festive period for Christmas and the holidays.
Absolutely. So,
but anyway, listen, tonight,
yes.
I'm always full of surprises. I was kind of wanting to play this a little bit kind of quieter tonight because I didn't know how the numbers were going to be with everything that's happening in America. This is kind of a safe place, so no political talk tonight from anyone, but we're going to kind of drill into some really cool stuff tonight. B Fox, before we start tonight, before I hit this first poem, I just want to say a massive thank you to you for the video that you put out earlier today. I shared it on all my Stand By Me RP and Blind Poet pages. If you've not seen it yet, go to my page, go to the Low Vision Shop page on Facebook and check out the amazing video that was done in one take, off the cuff, from the heart, by B Fox, talking about everything that he's doing at the moment and his journey. You touched my heart tonight and inspired me to look forward to tonight, and just reaffirmed everything that we're doing. And it's just you're amazing, mate. It's so good to have you as part of this team.
Now I got to ask you a question before you comment on that. Are you talking about that 60-second clip?
It wasn't.
Are you talking about that 60-second clip, or are you talking about a full version?
I put a full version up on Facebook.
A full version,
a 6-minute version. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the 6-minute version.
That's
every second was amazing.
So yes, I encourage everyone to go ahead, listen to that video, share that video. It's a very important video. It's tearful. It's from the heart.
I cried a little bit.
It's the truth. And most importantly, it was filmed here on site by a blind crew.
Yes.
So.
Yes, it was. I forgot to put that on there. Oh my god!
You forgot to put that on there.
I was
the most important piece of the puzzle.
Excited to put it up on Facebook and share with everybody.
Oh my! Take it down.
I'm gonna put something on there. What I want to say about that, Dave. Thank you so much that I saw that you saw that, and I was like, oh wow! But I didn't realize that it meant that much to you, and thank you for that. And I wanted to say, Barry just asked me, can you do something for about 1 minute? And I go, yeah. And I go, oh, no problem. Next thing I know, and I was like, I'm just going to do it in one take real quick, because I know if you've done one of these, you could go for 25 takes and, always try to do better. And I was like, I'm just going to go one take of this and give it to Barry. And 1 minute turned into 6. And Barry said, can you cut that down to a minute? And I was like, woof. Like, I don't know what to say though, but the whole point was to talk about, there's a gap that happens between the time that you get diagnosed, at least in my experience, and to the point where you actually have an adaptive device put in front of you to like this could change your life. And some people, I think, are lucky enough that they go from the diagnosis directly into the blindness community. They meet somebody that's got a device and they go, oh, hey, this could help you. But I've known people personally, and being in this office with Barry here, thank you for donating the space to Blind Dance Studios. I love being up here. I sincerely love it.
My greatest pleasure. It's an honor to have you here.
There's people that come up and Barry's talking to them and he'll hand them something, and it's just real quick, like an Orcam or something, or not an Orcam, because that's an incredible device that helps describe the world around, but like an iris vision. And then next thing you know, they're going, oh my gosh, I can see right now. And I just hear that and my face lights up. And so when I went to make this 1 minute video telling that story, next thing I know, I'm crying, and the rest you saw. But thank you for watching it. Thank you for that comment, and I'm done rambling now. But
yeah,
it was,
for anyone out there, go watch it, go listen to it. It's amazing. I love it, and I'm so proud of you, B. I'm so proud of you for that. But tonight we're going to get into more stuff that's linked in with all that you were talking about tonight. I said it was going to be a kind of more relaxed evening tonight, and I lied because instead of having one special guest, we've got two.
Ooh,
I love it.
I'm full of surprises.
And I want to give a shout out to Louise for feeling the energy tonight, this afternoon. High five, Louise.
High five.
Oh, I just
From Borat 1.
So we got two special guests. I'm going to kind of work out which order I want to bring them in. You guys out there know who you are. I will tell you when it's time for you to come in and do your bit, and I'll kind of guide you through the process, because I know both these people are new to the call tonight, but that's pretty cool. But I'll explain what we're doing in a minute. I want to kick off with a piece of poetry.
You kick something off, and I want to share something also. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to kick off with a piece of poetry. I've got a couple of pieces tonight. Normally I fit in 2 or 3, maybe 4 pieces of poetry, but tonight I've got 2, one at the beginning, one at the end. And the for those people that are new to the call, what we kind of do with the first piece of poetry on every week, every time we do the tea and poetry, is we get people's thoughts on things that they kind of related to within the poetry that I'm about to recite, and
I have
Barry
my pen
and Ben
right here.
Yeah, Barry and Ben
notes.
kind of kick this off. So I'm going to take this away. You ready?
We are ready.
Okay. I know there's strength inside of you, though all you feel is numb. Don't be afraid as eyesight fades for what is still to come. You will adjust. In these words trust. We share these tunneled eyes. A mix of strength and anxiousness, the same in me applies. My shins are full of bruises and my confidence misplaced. At times self-isolated, felt the world too much to face. So I am here to remind you all the times we fail don't matter. There's lots of misconceptions still. Let's remind them of the latter. It's not that complicated. Change how blindness is defined. Let's educate, articulate the many ways that we are blind. It's never all or nothing, many shades and different views. Yet there's a stereotype they keep on printing in the news. No wonder some of us have fears when out in crowded place. They see the cane but can't explain why we look them in the face. There's some of us who stay at home convinced of the excuse that because we don't look blind enough, there's a need to be recluse. Don't waste your life on people whose opinions are way off. Just swipe your cane with courage. Hold your head with pride aloft. So never doubt what we're about, despite what some believe. Come join me on my mission. Change the way we are perceived. Won't let the haze that fill my eyes consume the rest of me. There's more to life than the edge of knife, despite what I can't see. Try not to care as people stare with looks of vague suspicion. But why should I explain to them the terms of my condition? Though it's much simpler to stay home, won't waste another day. Their pity's just an obstacle that's getting in my way. Though I am blind, won't be confined by others' misconceptions. This poetry that spills from me will change their blind perceptions. Though anxious chest and days depressed have far from disappeared, I've learned to breathe while I still grieve, control these things I've feared. My kids look on, not on what's gone, but all each day I teach. For if tomorrow their eyes pay, life's dreams are still in reach. So I'll not cry as vision die, won't focus on the blur. No point in holding on to how those days and eyes once were.
Wow. My pen was non-stop writing there, Dave. That one's intense. And I think that one's intense.
I just saluted you, Dave. Audio description.
Audio description, Niagara Falls coming down.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Audio description, Niagara Falls.
No, we got a graphics guy doing some superimposed tears or something. I don't know.
Oh, wow. So
knocking out the park right out the bat.
Take it away, B. I want you anything that pops. I mean, obviously a lot. It
Well,
right to your heart.
You know, I'll comment right away. I think that's like a magnum opus from our man Dave Steele. And then second of all, like I got to comment on the length because it appropriately just kept going, and I needed to lean in further as it went, and you know, that's powerful, Dave. And not only did you put the words to it, but you kept people's hearts there. And the interesting thing, and I think that anybody that's been around art that's created around blindness or a specific topic of any kind of loss or struggle in life or something beautiful that you're achieving as a process, but you can maybe push that line too far. Not you, Dave, but a person. And that whole poem, I was gonna like, where's this gonna go? Is this gonna stay this powerful? The next line, and it did. And is it gonna stay that powerful? The next line, it did. And I'm like, oh, this is why I got this little message from my man Dave Still saying I'm really looking forward to tonight.
Yep.
Boom.
Wow. That's my new favorite Dave Still poem.
You know what, Dave? I have to say, you know what my favorite one is, but this one I think just takes it over the top because it connects with me and the energy that we have here and the work that we're doing. To me, that's where the connection is for me. So we talk about misconceptions. We're all about breaking down misconceptions. We're talking about educating, awareness. We are all about that. Strength inside, the courage to move forward, the control, self-control, changing the way people are perceived. We are all about that. I look at it from a different, dimension, but these are everything. I think that every day when we walk into the office as a team, we look to accomplish and to break down those barriers, misconceptions, and push ourselves to a higher level. So,
I look forward to reading that one on a stage with a microphone in front of
on American soil. On American soil.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
put thoughts out there in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone in the chat.
The comments are coming in. Louise says powerful. The things that we wish we could say to everyone without needing to say it. That is powerful.
Yeah.
That is powerful. So very true.
Okay, listen, I want to try and fit as much in tonight. So I've got a couple of people out there. I'm going to call the first one in. The second one, we won't be long to you. The first person I'd like to call in, I want to kind of explain why I've got this person on the call tonight, and we'll kind of go from there. It's going to become very apparent. I've never spoke to this person before, but this morning I woke up to just a wonderful message. I quite often I get messages from people all over the world who kind of follow me on my page, who have maybe followed me for a while and maybe stayed in the background and not come forward to kind of get in touch with me. And this person did that today. They'd followed me for a while. So awesome. Can we bring in a great name, by the way, Jennifer Britton?
Yes. Cool
into the call.
I like that name.
Yeah, it's a great name. Jennifer Britton into the call.
Jennifer from Great Britain?
No, she's not. She's from I believe I want to say Canada.
All right.
That's correct.
Hey Jennifer, how are you?
What's up?
I'm very good. How are you?
Doing great. It's an honor to have you here.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Where
so Jennifer, just want to say. Oh God, no, sorry, God, you're asking.
What part of Canada?
Jennifer,
where in Canada are you?
I'm from the capital, right in the Ottawa region.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Not too far from us.
So Jennifer, before we kind of get into it, can you just kind of explain your message today and that you sent me this last night? I got this morning, and kind of explain how we came to, or how you came to kind of know about me.
Of course. Well, my son, who's now 17, lost his vision due to LHON, which is it's a rare one. It's Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy. So when he was 14, he started to lose his vision, but had a pretty powerful journey, to be honest with you. He thrives through his vision loss. He didn't go into I don't want to say the typical bout of depression that I know a lot of people go through, especially at his age. He took it and changed himself personally all the way around. He does nothing but try and grow as a person. He's extremely well read. You know, he's into politics and law, and he loves his new life. And it's very interesting because, to be honest, I knew nothing about the blind community. And then all of a sudden this happens to my son. We land in the hospital. We spend a month there. We left the hospital and had no idea what his diagnosis was. So I kind of felt like it wasn't real, to be honest with you, and neither did he. So we were like faking it, like just kind of faking it through life at the beginning. So he turned to social media right away, and I was like, I don't know what else to tell you, but like, check YouTube. I'm sure you're going to find like some cool people that are probably blind. Like, I have no idea. Anyways, and that's of course what he found. The first one he discovered was Sam from The Blind Life.
Nice.
Yeah, good friend of ours.
Big fan of ours. Big fan.
Oh yeah, my son adores him. So it just was the first person that he had that connection with. And like Ben, you were saying about, you know, getting that first device, that adaptive piece. You've actually spoken to my son before, Ben.
I remember
yeah.
very well.
Wow, small world.
Yeah, it is. I know it is such a small world. It's so funny. So actually, you know, and then that led him into, you know, learning about all these other people and myself as well. So then I started following and watching and learning and seeing how amazingly supportive the blind community is. I was blown away. But it took us about 9 months. And then at 9 months of, you know, losing his vision, when we finally got the diagnosis of LHON, and strangely enough, there's an organization in Canada that was formed literally like weeks before he started to lose his vision. And they reached out to us, hearing our story. And within days of my son getting his diagnosis, they held their very first ever conference of people with LHON to get together. And it was a life-changing moment for him. He showed up there and met other blind people who are living fabulous lives. And he walked away going, wow, you know what? I can absolutely do anything. Like, he goes, look at these. If other people can do it, I can do it. Now he's got aspirations. He's applying to university. He's taking political science. He wants to get a law degree. And I have no doubt he'll do it. He's honestly one of the smartest people I know. And he lives for information and thriving. And he's actually written a poem himself that he had submitted at school. And it was about his vision loss as well. And, you know, that's when we had kind of found you know, like blind poetry and things like that. And it just kind of spiraled from there. So yeah, I've been kind of watching you and your posts and all these sorts of things. And I just love to spread the love myself too. So, you know, I was like, I never comment, I never hit anything. So, and I'm more of a personal person, I guess you could say. So to me, like, the little likes and comments aren't as important as, you know, like a true, hey, this is what I think about your posts and your family, you know. So I just wanted to send you a little shout out like that. So that's where that came from in my world.
That's awesome, Jennifer. I'm so happy you're here, and to hear all the wonderful accomplishments. It sounds like your son is just, you know, really got his head on his shoulders, heading down a tremendous path to, you know, continued success.
It's a remarkable public speaker, as a matter of fact, a remarkable public speaker.
Oh, he's share his story. It actually, that's one of his passions, is sharing, I guess, the abilities of, you know, people with low vision. That he blows people away constantly. We've actually done many things, and we've gotten through many hours with people, and they're like, wait a minute, hold up, like, this kid can't see. Like, no way. Like, people don't even believe it, right? We actually this summer went on, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of like the treetop trekking things, you know, you like harness up and you're like, we went and he forgot his cane. So I'm like, well, like, you know, we're going to tell them, like, whatever. We get there, and we'd filled out our waivers, and I told him he was blind, but he's done it before when he could see. So we're like, we're just going to wing it and see what happens. Guide shows up. We all went out. He did the whole course perfectly, to be honest. He did it way better than I did. And at the end, we're walking away, and he kind of like kicked a stump and just like barely tripped a little bit, didn't fall. And the guy turns, he's like, oh, come on, what are you like? He made a funny comment, and we all laughed. We're like, oh, this guy doesn't even know he's blind. This is great. We made it through the whole day, and he faked it totally, and nobody even knew he was blind. Like, he does these things. It's so incredible. And his vision is very far gone, to be honest. He's lost his complete central vision. So he only has just a very blurred peripheral. But that kid, honestly, he's figured out how to do everything just fine. So, you know, he still lives with me, of course, but, you know, I have no doubt he's going to get out in the world and thrive. And especially having, you know, inspirations and people to watch like you guys that, you know, just are living a great life. It's pretty awesome to, you know, connect with you guys too. So I super appreciate it.
I want to ask as well, and I'm sure, Ben, you can kind of give Jennifer more details on this. You know, if you guys are already registered for the Thriving Blind Summit next weekend.
You read my mind, Dave. Read my mind.
Because,
I
I don't know if you're aware of it. Do you know who someone called Kristen Smedley is?
No, I don't.
Ben, let's get them connected.
To get yourself registered ASAP. No charge, correct? It's complimentary, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So do you want Ben?
My
Do you want to give Jennifer a kind of brief overview of what's happening?
Absolutely.
On the weekend.
Yeah. So next week, right? Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Is the Succeed Without Sight Summit. And what I love about it, it's the first of its kind. It's unprecedented. It's all online, and it's just kind of formed organically. Is the cool story behind this. Kristen Smedley is the mother on a mission. She has two young boys, or they're not so young anymore. Don't
forget a daughter.
And a daughter. I was going to say, one's a college, they're blind. One's a college student at Penn State, and the other is a high school senior. And she also has a daughter who's 16, just started driving. So that's very cool. But this is a summit by the blind for the world. And what's really interesting about that, it's not to talk to a whole bunch of folks in the community that are blind about how to go out and succeed. It's to talk to our friends, our families, our coworkers, and the people in our communities around us. Because how many times, Barry, people go, well, how do you accomplish this or how do you accomplish that? And we're having this discussion back and forth. This is the place where if you have any questions, how I do cool stuff in my world, this is a place where we're going to.
He does some really cool stuff.
And I'll tell you, there's tools though, and we're in a room full of the tools that help us do it. And there's little tricks of the trade. And there's cool things that we're going to talk about. Like, have you ever thought about hiring someone blind? You haven't ever thought about it? Well, you should. And let's tell you how we succeed in the workplaces we're already in. Really looking forward to it. So come out next week. And Friday night is teen night. In Sedona, Dave is going to do a workshop and design a shirt with the teams there giving input. He's sending out some shirts for them to even try out. So we're excited about that.
Can you just list off a few people that are involved in this as well that are going to be speaking?
Well, Mr. Dave Steele himself. What are you going to be doing?
Apart from me.
Have you got a special poem prepared? Oh, I already asked you that last week.
Of course you did. What kind of questions?
That's true. I was hoping you'd give us a reread of this one we just heard today.
Well, if you'd like, I think that would fit pretty well, to be honest. So maybe I think, yeah.
Jennifer, I want to tell you, you remind me so much of Kristen.
You took the words. Absolutely.
And the way your son's name?
Ethan.
The way you explain, the way you talk about Ethan and you describe is just overall in being this incredible individual and always wanting more and to strive for more and to accomplish and succeed. It sounds exactly like Kristen's two boys, Mitchell and Michael. And so, I think Mitchell's the older one, right? Who's in Penn. And Kristen was telling us that, I don't know what the normal amount of credits someone takes in college. Maybe 18 credits a semester. That's pretty.
12.
12. Okay. So my son's in the middle there. Anyway, so I think like 18 credits is around what someone should be taking. Kristen's older son Mitchell in Penn is taking, I think, 29 credits, like almost like literally a double curriculum. And this is someone with sight loss. And so he is on a mission. And again, like you were saying, people don't believe that he's living with sight loss. And it sounds like Ethan is a mini Mitchell.
Hey, can we drop
awesome.
a link in the chat for this summit?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's blinddance.org/summit 2020.
Yeah, in fact, we can, I'm sure we have, Jennifer, your email. I can send you a link if you need a link. And I could probably pop it in right now, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jennifer, if you get anything from tonight, be at that summit next weekend, because us getting you connected with Kristen and all the other people that are going to be on this call, You know, people like Kirk Adams from the AFB, the president of the AFB, opening it up with myself. Lots of amazing speakers. It's just going to be a fantastic experience like never before. I swear to God, this thing is going to be incredible, and I'm so honored to be part of it. And first of all, you know, before we kind of say goodbye to you and move on, because we've got lots to kind of fit in tonight, Jennifer, I just want to say, you know, how grateful I am, and I know I mentioned this to you before when we were talking on Messenger. I never take for granted, and Barry and Ben will back me up with this, I never take for granted people using my poetry in the way that you guys have, and using it to kind of, you know, get through certain days and inspire. And yeah, it just it keeps me going.
I love that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. And hey, maybe I sent you that message for the right reason. Now we're going to connect for next weekend, right? So
It's all about timing.
Listen,
all about timing.
What do we always say, Barry? Everything happens for a reason. And the timing with this mission that we're on of people coming into play at the right time is something that everyone out there that's followed us for a while is seeing firsthand. All the time, these things happen, especially on tea and poetry.
Absolutely.
We would love to have, if you wouldn't mind, we would love to have Ethan on as a guest one day.
Oh, absolutely. Love it.
Definitely, 100%.
I'd love to reconnect
whenever he's
with
available,
you guys.
please let us know.
Yep, most definitely. He'll be thrilled to.
Nice.
Thank you for coming on, Jennifer, and I hope you'll stay with us for the rest of the call.
Absolutely will.
Awesome.
Take care.
I'm going to send you back as an attendee. So thanks so much again, and we'll see you. My best to Ethan.
Absolutely.
Hope to meet him one day in the near future in person.
Yeah, come visit in Baltimore.
I would love to, once I can get out of, my country and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll have a party with Dave Steele and you guys too.
Awesome.
That's good. So yeah, lots to kind of fit in tonight. I want people to get interactive. If you've got anything to ask in the chat, people that want to get on, please, get involved. I want to move straight on to our next kind of caller so we can fit as many people in as possible. So I had another message I got this morning. I got the first message not so long ago with regards to a project. Now we're always talking about how we want to create awareness within our community, but the real key is getting it outside of our community.
Right.
Correct.
And we're all about spreading that message. And as you're just saying with the summit there, about getting our friends, our family, our loved ones, people outside of the low vision community to understand more, break down these misconceptions and help people in different ways. And I was approached by a young lady that's on the call tonight who is a student at a university in Scotland, in Dundee. And I wanted to come on and talk about what she's doing tonight, because this is going to be really interesting, especially for you, B. I'm sure you're going to really appreciate what we're going to be talking about here. And I really want to get interactive with this next bit. So everyone that's out there listening in,
I'm excited.
what we're going to be talking about now is something that we've not spoke about on any of the calls before, but it's really cool and something that I think a lot of people out there can relate to. So can we bring in Anna?
Yes. Anna.
You ready for this, B?
I'm ready, brother.
I am looking for Anna.
I know you love surprises.
Anna, yes. Anna Minchelmore, is that correct?
Yeah, that's the one.
All right, Anna, coming right up. We're feeling, you're trying to balance the power here from the UK.
Yeah, well, yeah, we've gone Canada. We've got obviously USA as always. Now we're going to Scotland.
Hi.
Awesome. Hey, Anna, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
We're doing great. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All the way from Dundee.
Where is Dundee?
It's further north than Edinburgh, but not too far up. Yeah, about an hour from Edinburgh.
If you know this, Anna, we didn't speak, when we spoke earlier today, I actually lived in Scotland for the best part of 10 years. My daughter is Scottish. She lives in Glasgow. I lived in Glasgow for 10 years. I've been to Dundee many, many times. I've sang and performed up there. So I know it very well. But just to kind of introduce yourself to everyone that's out there and B and Barry, can you just kind of give a brief outline to who you are, what you do, and how we came to communicate and be in touch?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Anna, and I'm a product design student from Scotland. So I'm in my 4th year of product design. So I'm doing my big final project. And I've always had an interest in kind of design for inclusivity and more universal design. So doing things that like work for everybody. But I've always had a strong interest with visual impairment, and did volunteering for guide dogs and stuff as well. But my final year project, I kind of want to look into the dating experience and how we can make that more inclusive and more universal, but less about visual appearance, because I think everyone's kind of too, even myself included, too caught up on like what people look like and, you know, how we're perceived visually. And I think it's less about human connection, and I kind of want to break down that barrier. And yeah, bringing you
Absolutely. When you think about the dating apps that are going around these days, I mean, Tinder is the one that kind of everyone kind of thinks of these days, and that's all visual. It's about how someone looks and nothing but, and you swipe left or swipe right. Not that I've ever been on Tinder. The wife's
And have you ever been on Tinder?
Never.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Never been there either.
Yes, so it's all visual. So I think the key was, you know, when we were talking this morning, is how do people with low vision and blindness fit in that kind of environment? And just to kind of kick off, you know, I want to get to B and his opinion, and then everyone out there, let's talk about this. You know, I was saying, just to kind of give a brief overview of our conversation today, you know, that myself and Anna had, I was saying that, you know, a big thing for people with low vision and blindness when dating someone outside of the blind community is that you're having to go across these barriers of, first of all, the misconceptions that are out there, that people will, you know, not know whether, you know, you're blind or you have low vision or not, unless you explain to them. They may think, you know, those misconceptions that you either blind or not at all, and that, you know, they don't know there's many shades of blindness, all those kind of things that we talk about on a weekly basis. There's also the thing of when someone is, you know, getting involved with someone with a disability or with low vision or blindness, that they might think that, you know, it might put them off because they might think, oh, I might have to be a carer to this person. And also the person who with the disability or the visual impairment might think I might be a burden to this person. So that's a barrier.
You're talking about some real things, brother.
Yeah, there's also the barriers we've spoken about before in the past of, you know, when we are in a social environment like a bar or a restaurant, and because people with low vision can't pick up on social cues such as body gestures and hand movements and things like that, that sometimes we feel withdrawn in those kind of settings, especially in low light or noisy environments where we can't pick up on lip reading that we do subconsciously, that sometimes we become more withdrawn and anxious. So there's lots of kind of things that kind of fall into that play. And I really wanted to get Anna on tonight to kind of talk about her project more. Let's see if we can assist her and given her some kind of information and background on how we feel in our personal experiences. I've done mine. B, let's start with you. Anything you want to kind of add to, you know, what I've just spoke about?
Wow. So pretty much everything you said, I felt like myself. Definitely. So I'll get back to that second. Like the actual interaction of the app, I would be interested. You see, you're developing like an app online?
Not necessarily. I'm kind of more looking into like human connection, whether that turns out to be an app or not.
Okay.
I think it's maybe something that could be brought to a date, maybe physically in person, but it can be interpreted by everybody. And yeah, designing for everyone that's inclusive of sight loss, and kind of bringing a kind of more tactile and more connected experience to dating that's not about you know, appearance.
Sight.
Yeah, I mean, if I go on a date, I sit there and I'm constantly, what do I look like? Am I eating weird? Like, but if that was taken away, I feel it would kind of bring a different experience. And I feel like I really want to learn from people that have experienced sight loss and don't need to have that factor. And I feel like my assumption is that people with sight loss will feel maybe a much stronger connection to someone, whether it's spiritually or like physically. I don't know. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, B, you'll agree with this. You know, we talk about every week on how you know, people with low vision, I myself can testify to this, that when I started to lose my sight, that made me view the world in a completely different way and view people and life in a completely different way. I use the little tunnel of sight that I have to focus on the important things in life
Yes.
and look past the visual. And I'm sure that's something that a lot of people out there can kind of relate to.
I love that. I relate to that, and I have so many more questions for you that I feel are relative, so I want to understand. But for time's sake, are you visually impaired, or are you just interested in this generally to help our community?
Obviously I wear glasses, but I'm not majorly. I do have an issue with my muscles in my eyes not working properly. I don't know what the correct term is because they never want to tell me. But yeah,
Is that what drove you to get involved with the sight loss community?
Kind of, yeah. I'm kind of aware that I think my vision's gonna deplete as I get older. I've kind of been told that, but it's more.
Your community waiting for you.
Yeah, I think it's more that I just have a real respect for people that have low vision, because you know it's an invisible disability and you're still completely able. It's just that factor that's gone, and I just think that there should be much more provisions in place to make it things inclusive and accessible. And I feel like we can just really learn from people that have low vision or sight loss, because it is just learn. Yeah.
I've got an answer real quick for that. I just wanted to ask. So I want to understand that real quick. Because I think it's such a beautiful thing you're doing, and I love this whole idea, and I've got a whole bunch of ideas. So if I understand it correctly, you're looking to just change the dating experience for people who are interested in that, whether they're disabled or not, or differently. Cool. And it may be an app, it might be a product. You're open, you're open, and you're researching, and you're capable, and once you know what to do, you're going to go do it. So you're doing product research right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you started the actual development already of this project?
Pardon?
Doing it right now.
You're already like well involved as far as the overall.
Yes, our semester started at the start of October, so it's more just at the moment. I kind of just reached out to Dave on a whim, thinking that he might not reply to me.
Oh, Dave always
replies. Had a conversation this morning, and then here I am. So yeah, kind of research is what's really going to shape the project, I think. For me, I work physically in more physical products. Me as a designer, but like I am open to user-based design.
What type of design I know this sounds more like maybe more industrial design. Would you say this is more industrial design?
Yeah, I guess so. Product design kind of has a big spectrum of things.
Correct. What do you? I understand this project, but where's your passion as far as when it comes to design? Is it fashion? Is it physical products like desks and chairs?
It's more just like inclusivity design, I guess. So it's like, I don't know. I've done cutting aids in the past.
You've done what?
Cutting aids in the kitchen for people.
Oh, cutting aids.
Yeah.
Very important.
It's the accent.
I'll let you just answer that question, and I'll be brief on it. But so I think that it's very important for me especially, and for I think other people that are assessing their future with vision loss. Because I don't know about you, Dave, but myself, I was like, what will my own future look like for myself? And if a person single like I am, I'm like, okay, well, what is that going to be like for my future family or a future significant other? And it's hard to predict my own future with this vision loss. And there's so many things I'd love to say to even get started to go on a date. Like Dave said, when do I talk?
Sign them up.
All these types of things. So here, I've actually thought about this for a long time. And thank you for this opportunity to tell you this. Like, I was out on a date, and the last time that I was really significantly dating was a decade ago. And the reason that I stopped dating was, not quite a decade ago, but right when like my driving was done, really. Like, and I had someone I'd asked out, and I wasn't legally blind yet, but I wasn't safe to drive, and I wasn't really not using a white cane yet. This weird spot that happens to so many people probably on this call. And it wasn't that I decided not to date anymore. It wasn't it at all. I just lost the ability to explain myself.
Right.
And then because of that, and so I think this is key. Thank you for this opportunity. So if there was some way to, without being whiny, where I could still have some dignity and have class about it, to say, What are the top 10 things you wish you could tell somebody before you even said hello? But keep it short, simple, and help people through that process. So there's no 25-word ramble. It's just like, or actually 25 words might be good. I mean, like a 25 paragraph ramble. Just 10 things that you wish you could tell somebody before you say hello. Like, by the way, I can see a little bit from my center vision. I won't be able to pick you up. And also, here's some things I don't like to do because I get nervous in large crowds or people moving around a lot. So I prefer if we go have somewhere to sit down. Like if you had that somehow before I even met somebody, that would make it feel a lot safer. So Tinder's kind of like that, but Tinder's too fast paced, just way too fast paced.
Can I just kind of cut in there?
That's all I have to say.
And just we have a lot of hands that are raised, so I want to bring people in.
Let's get involved with the people. I just want to say one thing before we do that. We actually had a friend of mine who lives in Edinburgh who was on the call a few weeks ago called Gavin Neat, and he has an app called Welcome. And
that's what I was thinking about, brother.
Exactly. And what Welcome does for customer service is the same thing, you know, you could do for the dating community. Anna, I'll get you a link to the episode with Gavin on because watching it.
I have an idea that I'm not going to talk about right now, but
okay,
I want to talk to Anna offline.
We'll connect with Anna off this call. But yeah, you know, something like the Welcome app, for those that were on previous weeks will have seen that, you know, is exactly what you just said there, B.
Wouldn't that be something cool?
All right, I'm going to bring in a couple people here at once, and I'm going to start with Diane, because I know Diane probably has something very valuable to share. So I'm going to bring Diane in, and I'm also going to bring Gloria in as well.
What's up?
And then I will bring Julie. I will bring you in shortly after, and Travis, we didn't forget about you. Diane, you are live.
Hi everyone.
How are you?
Hey, Diane.
Hi. I don't know. Is my video on or no?
It's not.
How do I do that?
Let me see if I can send you a request. There you are.
Hey, I wanted to show
Dave. Look at that. Bring tilt the camera down a little. Hey,
down?
Gloria. Yeah, right there, right there.
Oh, look at that.
Is that what I think it is?
It is.
It is.
Just so Anna knows, Diane is wearing my Blind Poet hoodie, my merch.
Navy blue blind poet hoodie.
Loving that.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yes. So I wanted to just mention to Anna, I do a support group for the low vision specialist. And about a month ago, the topic that I picked was unconscious bias. So I did a brief study with people, did a little research questionnaire regarding dating and visual impairments. And it was quite interesting. There were some people were like brutally honest, and you know, other people just would answer yes and no. But the thing that I came away with in that study is there are so many people who are blind and visually impaired who are prejudiced against dating somebody who's blind or visually impaired.
What?
Wow.
I never would have known it.
And Ben, I hate to tell you this, but it was like 80% of blind women said they would not date a blind guy.
Oh,
wow. That really surprises me.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was the other way. I thought that people, and we spoke about this with Anna this morning, about how people sometimes stick with their own community because of the fear of awkwardness of those things that I spoke about at the beginning. So you found it the other way. That's really
found it the other way. And what's really interesting is the number one factor of why they feel that way is because of transportation. They want somebody who can drive.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Drop the mic.
I understand that.
Makes a lot of sense,
but you're kind of like, well, geez.
you just killed B's hopes and dreams
right
there.
I know.
I thought you were gonna come on. Diane's coming on. I'm like, Diane's coming on with some great news for me. She's like, man, I got some bad news.
Well, Anna's gonna change it. Anna's gonna change it.
Yes, she is.
Absolutely.
Yes, but another interesting fact was that people who are in a long-term relationship with a sighted person or married to a sighted person said their next relationship would be with somebody who is visually impaired. they kind of like had enough of the whole sighted
Interesting.
partner. Yeah. So I would love to take all that data and go further with it. So, you know, Anna,
Super
you're,
interested to hear the rest.
we would
Yeah,
love to
let's-
help you
yeah,
out with
absolutely.
this.
Let's
Yeah,
get you connected.
Yeah.
And Gloria, go ahead.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I wanted
Gloria.
to comment
Gloria.
on Anna and also Dave Steele's poem. But Anna first. I have been a widow for the last 11 years, and I have tried several different dating sites, right?
Yeah.
And I give pictures of myself and my guide dog, explain, you know, that I am visually impaired or low vision, that I still have some vision, but no one reads the profiles. They see my beautiful pictures, and I get all kinds of, you know, comments and messages. But when I really start talking and chatting with someone, they haven't read my profile, because I say, do you know I'm visually impaired? No. You know, they
just look
don't
at the
read.
picture.
They can see, but they don't read,
Interesting. That is very
Yeah.
you know?
And on eHarmony, I actually know somebody who a male who's a blind guy, and they actually told him, you cannot have your cane in the picture.
Wow,
Yep.
really?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
That's
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I will never let anyone tell me that. I won't be involved
Oh,
with
I know
anybody.
you won't, Ben.
Yeah.
Right.
Did they give a reason to that, or did they just remove the photo?
They told him, I don't know. He just said that they would not let him have his cane in the picture.
Mm.
He ended up meeting somebody. They've been married for a while, but so I guess she
Wow.
found out eventually.
Imagine she did.
Either
But
that, or
you
you just spilt the news.
That's what
To
your husband's
those
blind.
that are wanting to date and they don't drive, you know, now I really like the Uber and the Lyft. You know, here I live in Florida, and I can take Lyft anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to meet someone in a dangerous place. I can take Lyft and go to a nice restaurant, you know, someplace public.
Sure.
I think also there'd be a big difference in opinions from, you know, visually impaired men to visually impaired or blind women.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I think, you know, from a guy's point of view, you know, it's that kind of guys, you know, have that kind of pride of, you know, wanting to be the protector and, you know, wanting, you know, to drive the lady on the date and open the doors and be confident in all these kind of places that we maybe feel a bit anxious in. So, you know, that I think that would definitely come into play with people's kind of experiences.
Well,
Gloria,
the thing
sorry.
is, you're
Gloria, what
going
was the
to
other point you
want
were
to
saying?
get to know someone first.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, before you meet someone, you chat, you talk on the phone, you do video chats. You know, I can see someone on a video chat because of my tunnel vision. You know, I have RP.
Mhm.
And, but even if you're totally blind, you still need to chat with people, show other people the pictures.
Yeah.
It's before I start chatting with anyone, I snap a picture. I have it in my photos. So there's safety too to be concerned with.
Yeah.
So
I see
Oh,
we have Orly
excellent
here. Orly has come in
Ah.
under the skies
What's
of
up,
B
Orly?
Fox.
Hi, Orly.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Sorry if I sound this way. I've been listening to everything since the beginning. I wanted to add that I met my husband on a dating site, off a dating site, website. And it was an interesting process, I'll tell you that, especially not being able to see. And this was years ago in 2005 when it just really started launching. And I'm surprised to hear about the gentleman that you mentioned, Diane, that couldn't
Yeah.
have his cane in the picture.
Yep.
Because my pictures all had either a guide dog or a cane, or I was never advised of any, to change anything or limit myself. So,
Right.
yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't imagine why that would be an issue, but it's just very interesting to hear.
Mhm.
Thank you all for your insights. It's really, really useful.
Julie, I'm unmuting you right now. So if you want to share something, hopefully you'll be able to. There you are.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. No, I just wanted to say that I'm on the other end of that, having married my high school sweetheart and now as a senior citizen, and getting to the point where I'm not the same person that he was or I was when we married. But here's what I want to tell you. In my career, I was a marriage and family counselor. And all of you single people, do not for a minute think that you are not good enough or unworthy. And who said that? Did you say that? Somebody said that about you use your cane, you use your dog, you do what you have to do to advocate for yourself. Do not.
Yes.
So here's
Mhm.
the grandma in me, and the professor in me coming out and telling you, do not live in what you think other people are saying about you. You
Love
are
that.
all
Yes.
worthy, and you have every right to do everything you want and happiness that you want. And so do not, telling you, do not get in that mode, because you got this, guys. You got this.
May I add something, please? If
Yes.
Of
that's
course.
Go for it.
I wanted to say that I hemmed and hawed about mentioning my visual impairment on my profile or during the time of conversation. At what point? I even hemmed and hawed about resumes and where to add that information. I realized and I decided to do it from the get-go. And many, especially, sorry, men, many men don't read a lot of the details on profiles. They go by looks, they go by pictures. That's why they miss out on some details like, I'm visually impaired or whatever in the profile. But I wanted to say that I decided to add it in the body of my description right from the get-go, because if it weeded out certain people, then I'd rather have not started a conversation with the hopes that it wouldn't affect them or impact them or bother them, that I'd
Yes.
rather have gone moving forward with that being in the forefront right away.
Yeah.
And this reminds me of a quote from Dr. Seuss. But it
I love
goes, those who matter don't mind, and those who
Absolutely.
mind don't
Those in
matter.
that. Absolutely. I use that quote a lot. In fact, I've used that
Yeah.
in my poetry.
Um,
Can I just Gloria, you had a point to make about the poem, but just want to kind of squeeze that in.
yes. I love your poetry because it hits me where I live in my heart. There's times, yes, that I stay in the house too long, and then when I go out for my walk, I have a nice neighborhood. The only thing that scares me to death is other people walking their little dogs, and my guide dog, I'm not sure what it is. He wants to lunge after the dogs.
Oh no.
And and so after I'm nearly killed, by him dragging me down, that's happened to me one time too many. And so then I'm in the house for a while, and it's like, no, it's time for me to go again. So I love these meetings, and I love to read your poetry, because it just tells me you've got to get out there and stay out there. You can't just stay in the house.
That's
Absolutely.
for sure. That is for sure. We're going to
Yes.
take that
What we're all
opportunity to get
about.
out. Absolutely. I'm going to, Travis, I'm going to unmute you as well, because I know you've been waiting patiently to join. So you are here. And how are you, Travis?
Hang on a second. Hello there.
How are
Hey,
you?
Hi,
Travis.
Travis.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Doing
Good.
great.
Good.
Doing great.
Good. Very good. It's so good to be on this group, especially day after a big election, I'll tell you. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll tell you. This is really interesting topics here, I must say. you know, there's a lot to this. I don't know where to start, but like, hang on a second. Anyway, what I was going to say, like dating, I know dating had come up. I know blind dating, you know, another blind person is good in other ways, but having a sighted person that you date does come in handy because they can help you with certain things that you may not be able to do, or help you with transportation if you're in a bind or whatnot. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we hear you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's my screen somehow is dim. Like I'm not seeing you guys. It's like there's something going on here. But anyways, the perks of that about that, like the relationship I'm in right now with my BFF from work, so I'm the first person, you know, who's blind to be dating her. And when we started, I showed her a lot of things, sighted guide and everything, and how I do certain things, and she found them very fascinating. That's another good part. But one thing I wanted to bring up too, since we're on the subject of guide dogs and walking and so forth in the neighborhood, I wanted to tell you all about a TV show that might be suitable, if that's okay with all of you.
Of course.
This actually has to do too with Jennifer's son, I think too, with his eye condition and so forth, and how people have really are going out in the community and so forth. First of all, let me just ask this question. Does anybody in this group use Netflix by any chance?
Yes, of course.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay. For those who are animal lovers and who have a guide dog or whatnot, there is a really good TV show you absolutely must watch on Netflix in your spare time. It's called Pick of the Litter, if anyone
of
has
course.
heard of it.
Seen it.
Yeah.
Seen it.
Oh, yeah.
And I
I've
have
seen
to
that.
and I have to say, if for those who need more positivity right now, given what's been going on, for those of you who haven't seen it, I really strongly recommend that you check it out. There is some really good stories to this.
Yeah,
And it
great.
shows people, you know, who like us, you know, who are using their guide dog, and the graduations and the milestones that go into place.
Mm-hmm.
I really recommend it. You guys check this out. I mean, it's very descriptive too for people like us, just to let you know, for those who are wondering.
that's awesome. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much for that
Absolutely.
recommendation.
Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
I know
Thank you.
So
we're
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
And I would
Thank
love
you,
your
Travis.
feedback when everyone checks out the
Hey,
show,
how are
when
ya?
everyone has a chance.
absolutely.
I'm good. How is the thing down in you?
I'm going to, anyway, I thank you so much, Travis, for that. I really appreciate it. It's been an incredible evening/afternoon. I want to thank Anna for joining us. You have an open invitation as well. Dave,
And Anna, I'll get Anna connected with us offline. We'll do an email and get a call set up.
Absolutely. Hopefully this was helpful for you for your project.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
given you some new ideas on how to incorporate and to build out this
Definitely, yeah.
this
And
wonderful platform.
I'll give Dave all my contact details. So if anybody has anything further they'd like to ask me or just suggest or just talk about or share a story.
Fantastic. And before Dave gives us a little farewell piece of poetry, I want to hold up here this cup here. It's now become part of the archives. It's not just a regular venti latte from Starbucks. It does say B Fox on it. The B Fox cup. This is a venti cup. Nothing in it right now, but this was the cup that was used and enjoyed last week at a local Starbucks here in the Baltimore area that B Fox used together with Ira to create this experience. So give a shout out to that.
Distanced with Ira. That's Starbucks.
Yes. So if you
Yeah,
guys,
I watched the video. It was a great event.
thank you. So if you guys are not aware, Starbucks and Ira, you can use Ira. It's spelled AIRA. It's a fantastic piece of technology where an agent can provide you assistance and be your eyes. And I encourage everyone to go try it out. It's available in 8 different cities. It's for free when you use it at Starbucks and many other places as well. But the Starbucks just recently started that collaboration. And, you know, Dave, when you first started off with that first piece of poetry, we talked about misconceptions and creating the awareness. And the team at the Starbucks where we visited, it's an area called Roland Park here in the Baltimore area. The team, it was so new. Blindness was completely new to them. and they welcomed us with really open arms. They wanted to make the experience, as enjoyable, pleasurable, and tasteful as they would do it for anyone coming in. And they even went ahead and got a bowl of water for Regan. That's Orly's guide dog, and it was a great experience. So we're going to be going back out to Starbucks in the coming days together with the Sight Loss Support Group of Baltimore and beyond, and we're going to be giving away some free drinks. So we will send an email out to everyone. So if you're in one of those 8 participating cities where Ira and Starbucks are collaborating for this pilot program, I encourage everyone to go out and to make it happen. So, Dave, it's all yours.
Yeah, listen, before we finish off, Barry B. Fox, I want you to do me a favor, if you will. I just want to give a shameless plug to my all new YouTube channel, which was launched earlier this week, which is going to be a channel where all the tea and poetry is going to be on there.
Not a shameless plug. It's an important plug.
Yeah, absolutely. All the tea and poetry on there. We're going to have new exclusive daily content of poetry and talking about things like we talk about. Barry, if you could put a link out in the chat or send an email out to everyone on the call. So anyone that's out there, please, once you get the link, go on, like and subscribe and share this YouTube channel, because we want to kind of get this up and running. It's my first time going onto YouTube. Been a long time coming, but we're there now, and I want to get this thing taken off, and let's see how many more people outside of our community and inside of our community I can reach with the poetry.
And I just
want to say,
go ahead, you go.
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead, finish up.
Yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to Jennifer, to Anna, of course, to everyone that got involved tonight, to all those people out there listening, because the numbers are growing every week. And next week, we've got something really cool next week, which I'm not telling anyone about yet. And even the week after,
come on,
I've got something really
I don't even know.
No, you don't.
Christmas?
The next 2 weeks, I've already got stuff lined up. As far as the one the week after, Barry,
I'm gonna say there might be a tea and poetry on the 17th or the 18th. There's a road trip that's gonna be taking place here, so maybe we're gonna have to figure that out and coordinate that to make sure scheduling works.
Sure.
I don't even know about that, but I want to before you close things out, I just want to say a big thank you to our executive producer this evening, Sedona Dave, for coming through, doing an incredible job, setting up the studio, giving us the proper light, making us look great. And big shout out to Steven for our audio visual, making sure everything is sounding good.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Testing 1. So thank you again, Steven. Thank you, Sedona Dave. Thank you, Dave, over in Manchester. Thank you, B. Fox. And thanks to all the wonderful guests and attendees tonight. And it's all yours, Dave.
Okay, I want to leave you with this. We've spoke of isolation, how at times we fail to cope. But remember that within us all remains a sense of hope. It's not about a distant cure we pray one day will come, but living this life to the full in the rays of glaring sun. Though anxious feelings are natural, there's no need to stay here long. In me and many others, you'll find a place that you belong. If it feels that no one understands the way that you see, if it feels that no one understands the way that you will see, you'll always find a friend that cares within this poetry. For I know far too well just how this loss can take its toll. It weighs upon your chest and seeps into your very soul. But I have won what blindness done, my life once more regained. With long white cane, erase the pain, and guide dog I have trained. So when our eyes are compromised by blur and endless haze, remember there's an answer, find your way out of this maze. For vision's loss ain't all of us, there's so much more to you. So go believe all you perceive, for if I can do, you can too.
That is true. Go out there, everyone. Wrap up the week on a high note. Look forward to seeing everyone next week, Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. Please share, get the word out there. Tea and Poetry, Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Manchester, United Kingdom. Saying farewell from Timonium, Maryland. Dave, peace out. Love you.
Love you too.
Talk to you.
So, my
Absolutely.
brother, love you guys.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
guys.
good day.
See you next week.
Bye.
Take care,
Bye.
Travis.
Good week.
Bye-bye.